Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, January the 16th. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm a founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Very quick post-game recap of the Canucks 3-2 shootout loss to the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers shoot up to 49 points, the Canucks right behind with 48 points, amidst that mumbo-jumbo of teams vying for that final wildcard spot. That includes Colorado, who lost tonight, so they're only at 50, so they're basically right there as well. You got Minnesota in there, you have St. Louis, you have Anaheim, and you have Arizona pushing from behind. So it could be a 7 or 8 team race for those last wildcard spots. So tonight's game, Marcus Granlund had a great game. Maybe he's been reading all the reports of him, and maybe he's been motivated by those reports, but he had a goal and assist, some really good work, especially on his game-tying goal, a goal that tied up the game at the middle of the second period, and then there weren't any goals after that. The other goal by the Canucks was scored by Brandon Sutter on the power play. Nice little wrist shot from the side there, but that was after Jujhar Khaira scored a brutal shorthanded goal. It was nice for him, but it was brutal for the Canucks. Bad look on Horvat and the rest of the team, as they really didn't play that aggressively, relentlessly enough, and they let him just kind of walk in the zone, do a little spin, and put the puck behind Markstrom. The Oilers' other goal was Connor McDavid, power play, basically coming in, blew past Sutter, and got the shot off in front of Tana. Very quick release, excellent goal, showing why he's such a formidable force on offense. So all 4 goals happened before the halfway point of the second period. Late second period power play goal that we thought counted when Ben Hutton scored, but no, one of the Canucks forwards was offside, heading back towards the bench. Actually, unfortunately, just one of those unfortunate plays that cost the Canucks a go-ahead goal. No goals in the third period. Very, very exciting overtime, back and forth, breakaways galore, goal line saves galore, and it was good. Sutter had a good chance, Virtanen had a good chance, Draisaitl had a chance, McDavid was always dangerous, Horvat had a really good chance, but alas, it went to the shootout and went 5 rounds deep. So on the 10th shooter, Alex Chiasson of the Oilers was the first one to score. And you look at the guys that the Canucks wrote out there. Granlund makes sense. He had a goal and assist. He was playing well. And then Boeser and Horvat, without Pettersson, your two best scorers. Then I wasn't sure. Then it went Josh Leivo and Anton Roussel. And Josh Leivo, that was his first career shootout attempt. Roussel, he's scored before, but he hasn't done a lot. I would have loved to see Berchi, Virtanen, or even Sutter, who already scored earlier that day, earlier in the game, and has been playing well since his coming back from injury. So I'm not going to quibble too much, but maybe I would, someone like Berchi or Virtanen, who got some probably more offensive skill than you'd say Leivo and Roussel. But I'm not saying they would have scored or they wouldn't have scored, but that's who I would have put out there after Granlund, Horvat, and Boeser. Of course, when Pettersson's in there, I think you go big 3. You go Pettersson, Boeser, and Horvat. And then, but like I said, no problem with Granlund going, because he was playing very well tonight and had a hot hand, so to speak. But I would love to see Berchi and Virtanen and even Sutter over Leivo and Roussel. All the big guys, all the big guns for the Oilers missed as well. Draisaitl missed, and then McDavid missed, among others. So that's, I think tonight's game is going to be, it was a good indication of what we can expect for the rest of the season, which means we're in line for some good games. The Canucks didn't play well at the start. They were outplayed basically for the first 2 periods. And then when I started watching, what I saw was quite even the third period. Wednesdays nights was church night, as I tweeted about. But yeah, what I saw, the third period was quite even. Overtime was a lot of fun. But apparently, and from everything I've read and from the stats, I saw the Canucks were badly outplayed in the first 2 periods. So maybe this is what we're in store for the last 2.5 months of the season, especially if the Canucks are in this playoff battle. You got to win games like this to really be a playoff team. They can still salvage their homestand. They still have 3 very winnable games, but I said they had 6 winnable games at the start, and they've only won 1 of them. They have 3 points so far. Of course, losing to Arizona, then beating Florida on the weekend, and then losing to Edmonton today. So they're basically 1-1-1 for 3 points out of 3 games. But they still have Buffalo this Friday, which I'm going to, and then they have Detroit on Sunday, and then Carolina next Wednesday before the All-Star break. One other thing that happened during the game, they announced a trade. This is the first time I can recall them announcing a trade on the air, although a couple other people on Twitter had said it, but the Canucks hadn't officially tweeted it yet. But others told me that they also announced the Jason LaBarbera trade on the broadcast before, but I can't remember that. And kudos to anyone who does remember that. Anyways, the trade is Michael Del Zotto going from the Canucks to the Anaheim Ducks for defenseman Luke Schenn and a 7th round draft pick in 2020, in the 2020 draft. So not this year's draft in Vancouver, but the 2020 draft next year. I think it's a win for the Canucks. It's not a major move. Obviously, Del Zotto had only played half the games this season. I'm just pulling out now. I think he's only played 23 games this season or something like that after playing all 82 games last season. So you're basically trading someone who wasn't playing for a guy who hasn't played in the NHL this season. Luke Schenn has been with the Anaheim Ducks farm team in San Diego, I believe. And he's played, the San Diego Gulls played 22 games there, 10 points. So, a point every 2 games. And Luke Schenn was the 5th overall pick way back in 2008. He was picked by the Toronto Maple Leafs, as we know, and Toronto actually traded with the Islanders to move up to take Luke Schenn, 5th overall in 2008 draft. And, he's played for Toronto, Philly, the 1 season, LA Kings, and 2 seasons in Arizona, and 1 season in Anaheim. Sorry, that was brutal. He played 4 in Toronto, 4 in Florida, 1 in LA, 2 in Arizona, and 1 in Anaheim. So the Canucks will be his 6th professional team. And his point totals, when he started the season, he was playing 79, 82 games. Actually, for the first half of his career, he was playing, except for 1 season. No, that was the lockout season. So he basically played almost every game. And he's had point totals like 14, 17, 22, 22, 12, 14. So he's not the most offensively gifted player. He's a right-handed defenseman, and he's on an expiring contract like Michael Del Zotto was. So the Canucks don't have any salary cap issues right now. There's just simply a trade maybe to get Del Zotto, a change of scenery, and get him into a lineup. This is a trade to get Luke Schenn a change of scenery, get us some depth maybe on the blue line. He's going to report straight to Utica. And then a nice little bonus, a 2020 7th round draft pick. And we know that picks in the 5th, 6th, 7th round especially, they truly are scratch and win tickets, as we like to say. Because, the more picks you have, the more chances you have at winning, the lottery, so to speak. You want to get those. So for the Canucks to get, to dump some salary, although salary wasn't a big issue, but more importantly, to get another pick, albeit in next year's draft, I think you can consider this a small win for Jim Benning. So, yeah, sad to see Del Zotto go from a standpoint of I still think he's better than Derek Pouliot, but he will get a chance to play at least in Anaheim along guys like Ryan Kessler. So, Canucks fans, what do you think? What do you think about today's game? Are you concerned with the way the Canucks played? I know we're excited to get Pettersson back on Friday, hopefully, but do you agree with me that maybe we could have gone with some different guys in the shootout, or is that hindsight 2020? What do you think of this trade, Del Zotto for Schenn and the 7th? Are you fine with it? Or is it no big deal to you? Are you happy for Del Zotto? Are you happy for Schenn? Do you think Luke Schenn can actually make a difference, have an impact in our lineup? So it's interesting with guys like Gabranson, 3rd overall, Schenn, 5th overall. We're actually getting, it looks like Vancouver's a place where 1st round defensemen can try and reclaim their careers. Remember Cam Barker? I don't think he barely played for us, but we'll see what Schenn does, and we'll see if he ends up getting called up and getting some time maybe later on this season. All right, Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to. Have a great night watching highlights or reading Twitter or whatever you're doing. God bless, and go Canucks go.